Getting ready to go up off turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air. Kyle Bedell leads the field down the front straightaway with Stout to his outside as they head through 1 and 2.
I don't think Andy Buzel was happy with that restart. I think he was expecting to be waved off as Kyle Bedell, that 7J, has a good lead so far, about a car length ahead of the 19 Bob Dorman, as lap 1 will go to Kyle Bedell. We do have 1 lap officially in. Andy Buzel will spin out coming into 4. You don't see very many of those here with the super lates at Stateline Speedway.
Yeah, Buzel goes around over there in turns 3 and 4. The yellow flag comes out. As you mentioned, Chris, on turn 4, green flag goes back in the air.
Here comes Jason Jenko working on Bedell on that restart as they come into 1, working into 2. It is still Bedell holding off Jenko as they will enter down the back straightaway.
Jenko climbs the ladder through turns 1 and 2, and he slides into the number 2 spot, trying to track down Kyle Bedell. Off turn number 4, a couple of cars get wadded up farther back, and just like that good run that Bob Dorman was having, it goes away just that quickly. He gets drop kicked all the way back to 5th, but Bedell continues to lead the way.
Bedell with a 3-car length advantage over Jason Jenko as we have 3 laps down. It goes Bedell, Jenko, Eck in your top 3.
Bedell with the race lead as he heads off turn number 2. He pulls the field down the back straightaway, opens up his lead over Jenko a bit. They head through 3 and 4, now onto the front straightaway. You can call it a good 4 car lengths down the front stretch. Halfway
point as Spanky Hall gives the cross as Bedell with a great advantage over Jason Jenko, and Jenko with a great advantage over Nicholas Eck, or Douglas Eck, excuse me.
Douglas Eck, he has kind of been the quiet one so far here in the first heat for those super late models. Started this one in 5th, and he has comfortably worked himself up into the number 3 spot. But down the back straightaway go the race leaders, led by the 7J of Kyle Bedell.
Bedell will take the popsicle sticks from Spanky Hall. About a 4-car length lead still between Bedell and Jenko, with 2 laps remaining.
Bedell leads the field again down the back straightaway. Started this one on the pole, hasn't looked back even after that early caution. White flag goes in the air here for the 7J of Kyle Bedell. Jason Jenko trying desperately to close the gap. Don't think he's going to have enough time as they head down the back straightaway for the final time.
Entering into 3 one last time. Jenko does not have enough. Rolling through 4. Checkered flag waves. Kyle Bedell wins it. Jason Jenko in 2nd. Douglas Eck in 3rd. Andy Buzel in 4th. And the 19 of Bob Dorman will round out the top 5.
So Kyle Bedell in the 7J scores the victory. Here he comes, race fans. He's pumped up. Give it up for the 7J of Kyle Bedell. Again, Delahoe Jr. on the inside. Michael Smith up top, off turn 4. Green flag goes in the air here for the first time in heat number 2. Michael Smith hanging tight to the right elbow of Delahoe Jr. off turn number 2 for the first time down the back straightaway. Michael Smith jumps out to the race lead, side by side for 2nd. Bassard gets to the inside. Smith leads the way off turn 4, but here's Bassard down the front straightaway trying to challenge for the race lead. Down the back straightaway they go into 3 and 4. Michael Smith has the race lead. Bassard, he wants it side by side again momentarily as they head down the front straightaway. Michael Smith, though, has that top spot. A great battle ongoing here for the race lead. Off turn number 2, they stay wheel to wheel.
Bossard and Bedell battling it out, or excuse me, Bossard and Smith battling it out as they will roll out of 4. New race leader, it's Daryl Bossard.
So Bossard jumps into that number 1 spot. The 96 of Michael Smith falls back to 2nd. Good battle going on for 3rd now as they head down the back straightaway. The 27 of Scott Delahoe Jr. has that 3 spot. Side by side for 4th, though, off turn 4.
It is still all Daryl Bossard up to this point, working away from Michael Smith, as we have a battle for 3rd place between the 1 of Will Pinckney and the 27 of Scott DeLahoy Jr. Here comes De La Hoya Jr. at the line, making it official.
Good battle ongoing there still for third, but stealing the show up front is Busti as he heads now into 3 and 4. 2 laps to go, this time by at the line.
It is still Pinckney and De La Hoya Jr. battling it out for that third place position as Pinckney will pull away as they enter into 1.
They head down the back straightaway. Michael Smith riding in that number 2 spot. He is not going to have enough time as the race leader. He is long gone. White flag goes in the air.
One more time around for Darrell Bozzer as he will enter down the back straightaway one last time. What would you say, 7-car length lead?
Yeah, it might even be more than that. Bozzer all by himself at the front of the field. Checkered flag goes in the air. And it is the 22B, of Darrell Bozzer, who scores the victory in the second of 3 heats here in the super late model. Here he is, race fans on the front straightaway. Give it up for the 22B of Darrell Bozzer. On to the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air here for the third and final heat for the super late models, and by the time they hit 1 and 2, it's Ryan Scott who's got the whole shot lead, but 3 wide off turn 2 for second.
Scott holding off 3 cars in Greg Oaks, as we have a 3-car battle for third place between McRae and looks like X in there, as well as the 43 of Garrett Mott.
Tyler Oaks, he kind of escaped with that number 2 spot, now taking a stab at the race leader. Hard charging, uses that high line momentum, and what a move by Greg Oaks. Trying to get to the high side, does so successfully, takes away the race lead down the front straightaway.
Seeing Ryan Scott run that inside line where we usually do not see him. We see him right where Greg Oaks is running that outside line, and he will move up to run right behind Greg Oaks, hopefully reel him in.
Yeah, Greg Oaks, he has gotten the race lead, starting to pull away, using the top line to his advantage. Ryan Scott now trying to mimic his every move. He climbs the ladder, tries to find some speed up there himself, can't do so. Matter of fact, Chris, it is Ryan Scott who's now under the gun from Garrett Mott at 43X.
Garrett Mott banging at the door, trying to get second place from Ryan Scott. Scott still holding him off though, will slide down the track a little bit to that middle line.
Garrett Mott, oh, trouble in turn 2, the 0 of Ryan Scott goes around, and the yellow flag is going to come out in the air. Garrett Mott will now slide by. He'll take over the number 2 spot.
We'll through 3 and 4. Spanky Hall waves the green flag. We're back underway.
They head back through turns 1 and 2. Now, Oaks might have gone too high, and he was able to save the car, able to hang on to it, and he launches back out of the race lead. Garrett Mott all the way at the bottom, Greg Oaks all the way at the top, battling for the race lead.
We have Garrett Mott trying to hold off Ryan Scott in the in the 20J of Douglas Eck. Douglas Eck and Scott will battle out for third, moving Scott into third place.
Garrett Mott not letting Greg Oaks get away with the race lead. He is keeping him right there within striking distance. Matter of fact, he closes the gap, goes all the way to the bottom as Oaks again goes all the way to the top. They are continuing to have a dogfight for the top spot. Mott to the inside as the white flag flies here at Stateline.
Oaks with a very good exit out of turn 4, takes that white flag. We got one more time around. We have a dogfight between Mott and Oaks as they will enter in the back straightaway. Take us home, Nate.
Final time down the back straightaway here in the third and final heat for the super late models, and it's Mott on the inside. Oaks up top, off turn 4 to the checkered flag. It's going to be a close one, but at the line, it's going to be the 22G of Greg Oaks who scores the victory. Mott comes across the line in second. Ryan Scott in third, but another close finish at the line. Another great battle here at Stateline Speedway. And in the end, it was this man right here. Give it up for the 22G of Greg Oaks.
Another really good heat race.
We'll get ready to go here at Stateline Speedway. Off turn 4, green flag goes in the air here for the first time tonight. John Haggerty, he will lead the field into 1 and 2 for the first time, but hard charging on that high side is Blodgett as they head down the back straightaway.
Door to door, wheel to wheel as they will enter into 3. Blodgett has the upper hand as they come into 4.
Off turn number 4, Blodgett still holding on to that top spot. Haggerty takes a peek to the inside, trying to hang tough on his left elbow. Can't do so. Oh, and now Blodgett goes around. Trouble in turn 2. The race leader spins out from the race lead. We stay green momentarily. Now the yellow flag flies in the air. Control car on this Delaware restart as they head through 3 and 4, approaching the restart cones. They hammer down now. Haggerty leads the field back to the green flag. A side-by-side battle there for second. Ward Shell on the inside as they head back through 1 and 2.
Down in the back straightaway, Haggerty's going to pull away from Shell. They will come into 3. Shell and Haggerty both take the bottom. Lap number 2 will go to John Haggerty.
One car very slow off the pace farther back. It's the 14 of Ed Carley as he has some issues. Gets drop kicked all the way back to the 8th position. But Chris, battle for the race lead, starting to pick up. Ward Shell to the back bumper of John Haggerty, knocking on his doorstep.
Haggerty holding off Shell as they make it official at the line. Race leader still is Haggerty, but that could not be for long as they will enter the back straightaway. Here comes Shell.
Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, John Haggerty still holding on to that top spot. It's turned into a 3-car battle for the race lead as Randy Hall, he wants the piece of the action as well. He throws his nose in the mix. 3 cars battling it out for the race lead, being led by John Haggerty off turn 2.
Here comes Shell down the back straightaway, working on Haggerty. Trying to make a move as they will come into 3. Both drivers take the bottom, and here comes Randy Hall.
Turn number 4, back down the front straightaway. The flash by the line. John Haggerty holding onto that high line, or that hot top spot. He'll ride the middle groove. Ward Shell dials up the low line as Randy Hall falls off the battle for the race lead. Turns into a 2-car fight as they head back onto the front straightaway with 2 laps to go here in heat 1.
Popsicle 6 are in the air. Does Shell have enough in the tank to catch Haggerty? Coming into 2. Haggerty has a better exit coming down the back straightaway.
Battle for the race lead continues to be a good one. Meanwhile, farther back, battle from 4th on back, turning into quite the hornet's nest. But the white flag goes in the air, and Ward Shell takes a peek to the inside, side by side for the race lead as they head into 1 for the final time.
Coming out at 2, door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel as they enter down the back straightaway. Shell on the bottom, working on Haggerty, coming into 3.
Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Side by side still. Up off corner exit. Back onto the front straightaway. At the line. A hard-fought battle, but you can give the victory to Ward Shell. Took him until the very last lap, the very last corner. But Ward Shell scores the victory in the first heat for the Rush Late Models here at Stateline Speedway. A great battle all the way to the end. Here he is, race fans, on the front straightaway. Give it up for the 61S of Ward Shell.
Green flags in the air. We're underway for heat race number 2. Hoffman with a very good start as they will come into 1.
They head into 1 and 2 for the first time tonight here in heat number 2 for the Rush Late Models. It is Hoffman who's got the race lead, but farther back, that battle for second between 4 cars. They were 3 wide off turn number 2. Now the 86 of Little holds on to it, but again, 3 wide off turn 4.
3 cars under a blanket for that battle as they come into turn 1 for second place. It is Little and the 33 of Steve Hauser battling out door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel as they enter into 3.
Great battle going on there for second as Hoffman starting to tiptoe away with the race lead. They'll head back down the front straightaway. I believe that's Josh Ferry who has taken over the number 2 spot as they are still battling it out farther on back. But here comes the 33 of Ferry trying to track down the race leader.
Ferry clears Little as he takes second place up hand. Now he's working on Hoffman as they are close at the score table. And we have a car parked coming into 3. That looks like the 2 of Zachary Carley. That'll bring out the yellow.
Yeah, yellow flag goes in the air. The 33Z of Steve Hauser got into the back of the 2 of Zach Carley as they were entering turn 3. Carley went for a half
flags in the air. We're back underway.
Through turns 1 and 2, they go. Now onto the back straightaway. Battle for the race lead as Josh Ferry takes a peek at the inside and he snags the race lead, that is, as they head through 3 and 4. So you can move Ferry to the top spot. Hoffman, he gets back to second. Good battle ongoing here for third, side by side down the front straightaway.
It is Krug and Little battling it out for third as Krug will clear Little as they get down the back straightaway. Can Krug make it official at the line as they both enter into 3?
Off turn number 4, back onto the front straightaway. Josh Ferry not only has got the race lead from Hoffman, he is long gone by the time they get back through turns 1 and 2 and head onto the back straightaway again. Almost a half a straightaway lead for Ferry as he leads them back through 3 and 4.
Popsicle sticks in the air. Ferry has 2 to go, and he wins this heat race. Does Hoffman have enough in the tank, or will he catch a break with a yellow?
Hoffman trying to reel in the race leader of Ferry yet again, but now he has some company out the back as Krug starting to knock on his doorstep for that number 2 spot. They head off turn 4 as the white flag goes in the air. Josh Ferry pulls the field down the front straightaway and leans it back into 1 and 2 for the final time.
Krug trying to catch up to Hoffman as they will enter down the back straightaway, but it does not matter. Ferry wins it. And Hoffman will hold off Krug for second, Krug third, Little fourth, and Steve Hauser in fifth. That'll round out your top 5 for heat race number 2.
So Josh Ferry in that 33 puts it in victory lane in the second of 3 heats for the Rush Late Models, and he's back on the front straightaway. Race fans, give it up for the 33 of Josh Ferry. Here they come to the restart cones. Will Pickney on the inside, Jake Wilbur up top as they head down the front straightaway, and the green flag goes in the air for the first time here in the 3rd and final heat for the Rush Late Models. A great battle for second off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway.
Here comes Scott Gerdak in that 5G machine. 3 cars under a blanket for the battle in first. Coming out of 4, it is still Pickney holding off Gerdak and Wilbur as they enter into 1.
Pickney holding on to that race lead. Gerdak trying to slide by the 50 of Wilbur. He will do so, and now he takes a peek to the inside of Pickney down the back straightaway. Tucks right into his left elbow. Side by side off turn number 4 for the race lead. At the line, new race leader, it's Scott Gerdak. He leads them back through turns 1 and 2. Now Wilbur wants a battle at this one again, and another shot. Contact is made. Trouble in turn 2. Gerdak goes around. Pickney gets a piece of that one as well. Wilbur escapes with the race lead. Approaching the 2 restart cones, the green flag goes back in the air. Pickney takes off with the race lead. Janko Wilbur side by side for second as they hit the banks through 1 and 2. Janko climbs the ladder. He's going to challenge for the race lead down the back straightaway.
Here comes Janko and Pickney into 3. Janko shoots out a rocket as he comes into 3, working through 3 and 4. Coming out of 4, new race leader, it's Jason Janko.
Jason Janko takes off with the race lead. He clears the 49P of Will Pickney. Now down the back straightaway, Pickney slides into the number 2 spot. That battle for third, though, the one to watch. Wilbur, he is under attack from David Parker.
Parker and Wilbur do make contact as they come into 4. Coming at the line, new third place, it goes to David Parker, the 2P.
David Parker had Wilbur by a couple of feet at the line. Now he slides by the 50 machine, gets around him. So Parker to the number 3 spot and immediately sets his sights on the back bumper of Pickney off turn 4.
Parker trying to reel in Pickney. He's very close at that line. We have 3 to go as they will come out of 2. Down the back straightaway, Parker clears Pickney.
Parker is hard charging, and he's a man on a mission right now, but does he have enough time to have a chance to get to the back bumper of Janko? They work off turn number 4, 2 laps to go here in the 3rd and final heat for the Rush Late Models, and it is the 2 of Parker trying to reel in the race leader of Janko.
Does Parker have enough to reel in Janko as Janko's running away with this lead with the white flag in the air? 1 to go for Janko.
1 lap to go. Here's the white flag is being displayed now. Janko, he is long gone, and that battle, hard charging of Parker, that pressure has kind of died off. He is not going to be able to mount enough to get to the back bumper of Janko through 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered
flag wave. Jason Janko wins it. Parker in 2nd, Wilbur in 3rd, Pickney in 4th, Gerdak in 5th. That'll round out your top 5.
Good battle there in this 3rd and final heat for the Rush Late Models. Here he is, race fans on the front straightaway, the points leader in the Rush Late Models and Heat 3 winner. Give it up for the 29J of Jason Janko. What he does now, coming off turn number 4, green flag goes in the air. Zach Johnson, Butch Southwell side by side as they head through 1 and 2.
Rolling out of 2, it is Johnson trying to hold off Southwell as Johnson gets a little bit of a cushion as both drivers enter into turn 3.
Zach Johnson, he's got the race lead now as they head up off turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1. Southwell, though, he is right there as the yellow flag goes in the air. We got one car that has gone around on turn number 2, and that has brought out the yellow flag. We'll see if they take that lap or not. I do not believe they will, so we might be looking at a complete restart here in the first heat for the UMP Modifieds. Green flag goes back in the air, much the same as we saw the first go-around. Zach Johnson takes off with the race lead. Butch Southwell, though, right on his back bumper off turn 2.
Don't count out Troy Johnson into that 2J, as we have three cars under a blanket for that battle for first. Troy Johnson takes the bottom, working on Butch Southwell. Side by side, door to door, as they come into 1.
Troy Johnson side by side still with Butch Southwell. Now Troy moves into the number 2 spot, makes easy work of him off turn number 2. Still has a lot of daylight to overcome until he gets to the back bumper of Zach Johnson. About 3 car lengths as he slides wide. Troy does off turn 4.
Troy Johnson trying to hold off Butch Southwell as he had a little miss up as he slid up turn 4, and now reeling in Zach Johnson as they are down the back straightaway entering into turn 3.
Zach Johnson has opened up his advantage by a car length or 2. Troy Johnson trying desperately to find enough motor underneath the hood to poise a thread and muscle up to his back bumper. Still can't do that. Now the battle for third starts to pick up as Southwell's under attack as they head down the back straightaway.
Bud Watson trying to reel in Butch Southwell for that third place position as both drivers will enter into turn 4. Southwell still getting a little bit of cushion between him and Watson.
4 laps to go here as they are halfway through the first heat of the UMP Modifieds tonight at Stateline Speedway. Zach Johnson starting to pull away. And again, it's Troy Johnson riding in second. Southwell rides in third. That pressure from behind from the 225 of Bud Watson, that has alleviated a bit, but it is still a good battle up front now as here comes the 2J of Troy Johnson starting to close the gap.
Troy Johnson starting to get that cushion down as both drivers will enter into turn 3, working through turn 3 into turn 4. Popsicle sticks in the air. We got 2 to go. Can Zach Johnson hold off Troy Johnson?
2 laps to go. The battle for the race lead starting to shape up and intensify here in the first heat for the UMP Modifieds. Off turn number 2, Zach Johnson kicks a little wide, and here comes Troy Johnson to the inside. Takes a peek low, side by side, off turn 4 as the white flag flies.
Both cars are digging as 1 lap to go. Johnson takes the inside. Zach Johnson takes the outside. Troy Johnson takes the inside as Troy Johnson will clear him. Take us home, Nate.
Down the back straightaway for the final time. It is the 2J of Troy Johnson with the race lead. Off turn 4, Troy Johnson's going to be the one who scores the victory in the UMP Modifieds first heat. It is the 105 of Zach Johnson who comes across the line in second. Butch Southwell was able to hold on to that third spot, but another dramatic last lap pass here tonight at Stateline Speedway. You can give the win to the 2J of Troy Johnson, and here he is, race fans, on the front straightaway. Give it up for Troy Johnson.
Again, Troy Johnson working that momentum that he got from last week, winning that UMP modified feature.
Number 4 on to the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air, 3 wide for the race lead down the front straightaway.
Greg Johnson shoots out of a rocket as that green flag went out. And it is Greg Johnson and the 12 of Thomas Root battling out for first as they enter into 3.
Side by side for the race lead as they come off turn number 4. Contact is made as now the yellow flag goes in the air. We have one car that has come to a halt and a spin off turn number 2. That has brought out the yellow flag, but a good battle is what we were watching for that top spot. Number 4, there it is. Green flag goes back in the air. Greg Johnson down the front straightaway with the race lead. That battle for second, though, starting to shape up. Rockwell to the inside of Thomas Root.
Here comes Johnson trying to make a little bit of a cushion between him and Rockwell. Here comes Timothy Rockwell, though, reeling in Greg Johnson.
Off turn number 4, Rockwell took away that number 2 spot, but now Thomas Root tries to mount a threat and take it away from him again. Greg Johnson opens up his lead to about 4, maybe 5 car lengths. They head down the back straightaway.
Rolling through 3 and 4, it is all Greg Johnson up to this point as lap number 2 is in the bag. Thomas Root trying to work on Timothy Rockwell for that second place position.
Rockwell holding on to that second position for now, but Thomas Root, he's doing everything in his power to take it back away. What once was his, he has now watched Root have a chance at the back bumper of Johnson, who is the race leader, but fall well off the back bumper now as they head back into 1 and 2.
Exiting out of turn 2, Rockwell will get a decent cushion between him and Root, but here comes the 40 of Jimmy Diabo, trying to knock on the door of Root for that third place position.
Bunch of cars, single file, and really close to one another, but no good side-by-side battles going on at the moment, as the field was just shown the halfway signal, and that was a lap ago already, as Greg Johnson in that 05, he is flying with 3 laps to go as he heads back down the front straightaway.
3 laps to go here for Greg Johnson. Been all him up to this point. Does Timothy Rockwell or Thomas Root have enough in the tank to even catch him?
Greg Johnson sits in 3rd in the points here at Stateline Speedway this year with 514 to his credit. Still a long way to go to Troy Johnson, who just won the heat in heat number 1 of the UMP Modifieds tonight with 578. So still a lot of distance to overcome in that points battle, but winning a heat would certainly help as he heads off turn 4 and that white flag goes in the air.
2 wins this season so far for Greg Johnson. Looking for that 3rd one here tonight as he goes down the back straightaway one last time. Rockwell or Root does not have enough to catch him. Rolling through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves. Greg Johnson in 105 wins it, or the 05 wins it. Timothy Rockwell in 2nd, Thomas Root in 3rd. The 07 of Tim Peterson in 4th. That'll round out your top 5, or top 4, excuse me.
So Greg Johnson in the 05 steals the show in the 2nd heat for the UMP Modifieds. Coasts his way to victory. Here he is, race fans, back on the front straightaway. Give it up for the 05 of Greg Johnson. Brady Westfield 4th, Dave Lanford in 3rd, CJ Ramsey in 2nd, Jason Brightman leads the field to green as the green flag flies now as they head down the front straightaway into 1 and 2 for the first time. Brightman has that top spot, still side by side with CJ Ramsey. One car goes for a spin off turn number 2 farther back, gets it pointed back in the right direction, but up front off turn 4, the race leader is Jason Brightman.
Brightman trying to hold off Ramsey as they will enter into 1. Working into 2, Spanky.
And we got trouble in turn 4. One car has gone around and he has gotten caught kind of on the berm in the inside of turn number 4. That has brought out the yellow flag. Brightman continues to lead the way. I believe that car out there, Chris, in turn number 4 that kind of got stuck up there is the 61 of Dave Lanford, and it is. So
as the green flag is back out, we're underway.
Field heads down the front straightaway, back through turns 1 and 2. Brightman's got that race lead as now they head up off turn number 2. Side-by-side battle for the number 2 spot. Ramsey on the inside, Westfall up top. Westfall takes that spot away for now as they head off turn 4.
And Westfall making an official at the line. Yes, he can. Holding off Ramsey as they come into 1, working into 2. It is still Brightman, though, with a lead.
Oh, trouble off turn 2. Well, momentarily there looked like there was going to be trouble. Contact between Westfall and Ramsey. Those two still going at it for the number 2 spot now as they head back down the front straightaway. Ramsey takes away that spot. He'll slide up in front of the 2 of Westfall as Westfall tries to get back to his outside. Can't do so, but Chris, long gone up front at the front of the field is Jason Brightman.
Westfall and Ramsey duking it out like 2 uncles at a cookout. Neither one has the upper edge yet as Ramsey will pull away, but the yellow will come out as I can't see a number on that one, mate.
Yeah, one car has come to a rest in the middle of turns 3 and 4. The yellow flag is going to come back out in the air.
Flag's back in the air. We're back underway. Brightman takes the block off CJ Ramsey, but here comes Westfall as the door has opened for him.
They head through turns 1 and 2. Westfall, he has got that caution that he needed, and he has got the momentum off turn number 2. Tries to get up top on the track and get to the right elbow of the 16 machine of Brightman. Can't do so. Now he takes another peek as they head back down the front straightaway.
2 cars under a blanket as Westfall and Brightman will battle it out as they come down the back straightaway.
Trouble in turn 2. One car goes around Joe Lanford. He spins it and he goes up the banking. Sits now at the exit almost of turn number 2. Nonetheless, the yellow flag's going to come back out.
3 and 4 on Brightman's command. Green flag's in the air. We're back underway. It is Brightman holding off.
Now off to turn number 2, down the back straightaway they go. It is the 2W of Westfall, who's up top trying to muscle himself around the 16 of Brightman. Can't do so just quite yet. 2 laps to go. That time by at the line. They go back through 1 and 2. Brightman still holding on to that top spot.
As Westfall and Brightman will battle it out down the back straightaway. A decent cushion between Westfall and Ramsey, as Westfall will go to the top of the track. Brightman will go to the bottom as the white flag waves one more time around.
Final time here in the 3rd and final heat for the UMP Modifieds at Stateline Speedway. Brightman, he had a lot to deal with out the back a lap ago, but Westfall falls off the pace. Now actually becomes under attack from CJ Ramsey, allows Brightman to tiptoe away with the race lead and the race win. Off turn 4, checkered flag in the air for Jason Brightman, as coming across the line in second, the 2 of Brady Westfall and CJ Ramsey. And that 14R rounds out your top 3. As they work off turn 4, green flag goes in the air. Nystrom, he's got a great launch, and he's got the race lead by the time they hit 1 and 2 for the first time.
It is Nystrom and Peterson battling it out door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel as they enter the back straightaway. But here comes the crowd pleaser. Zane Harvey quickly moving up into 4th place position.
Harvey started this one in 7th. By the time they hit off of turn 4 in the front straightaway again, he has already moved into 3rd. Good battle ongoing here for the race lead. Peterson to the inside of Nystrom. They will go wheel to wheel and drag race down the back straightaway.
Harvey moving up into that 3rd place position. 4 wins here to the season already at Stateline Speedway. Has eyes on Peterson and Nystrom as we have 2 laps down with Peterson leading.
Zane Harvey has a front row seat to this ongoing battle for the race lead as Peterson slides by Nystrom, takes over that top spot. Harvey slides to the inside of Nystrom, trying to take over the number 2 spot as they head back through 3 and 4.
3 cars under a blanket for that 1st place position. It is Peterson, Harvey, then Nystrom. That'll be your top 3 with 3 laps down.
Peterson continuing to hold on to the race lead, but he has got one of the best in the business, at least this year. One of the most dominant cars in the area of Zane Harvey directly behind him. They work off turn 4. Peterson will pull the field down the front straightaway. Matter of fact, Chris, he might have gotten a better launch than Harvey off turn 4. Opens up his lead to about 2 car lengths as they head down the back straightaway.
That 2 car length lead slowly getting down as they will enter into turn 3. Both take the bottom line. Rolling out of 4. It is still Peterson by a hair, though, on Harvey.
3 laps to go here in the first of 2 heats for the Rush Pro Mods. Harvey all the way at the bottom of the racetrack. Peterson rides about a groove higher. A lap ago at this point of the racetrack, it was a car length advantage for Peterson. Now he has opened it back up to about 2 with 2 laps to go.
Popsicle sticks are in the air for Peterson. We have not seen this a lot this year. A car pulling away from Zane Harvey. This could be the first of many for Tim Peterson with 2 laps to go.
Tim Peterson will see the white flag first as he is still being stalked by Zane Harvey as they head down the front straightaway back through 1 and 2 for the final time. Now off turn 2, Peterson gets a little low. May have cost him some time. Matter of fact, he pulls away as they head through 3 and 4 for the final time.
Rolling through 3 and 4 one more time around. Harvey doesn't have enough. Checkered flag waves. Peterson wins it. The crowd pleaser, Zane Harvey in 2nd. Von Nystrom in 3rd.
Tim Peterson in the 24P puts it in victory lane for the first of 2 heats here in the Rush Pro Mod. On turn 4, green flag goes in the air. Oh, trouble initially for the race leader of Cattell. Right off the drop of the green flag, got really sideways, spun into the infield. That allows for the 78 of Nick Arnold to escape with the race lead, and he is gone, Chris, as they head through 3 and 4.
Arnold with probably an 8 car length lead over the 28 of Tommy Kemp, who started last in the caboose, moved up into 2nd. An odd start to this heat race, Nick.
Yeah, the 34 of Silvis, he got a little too overzealous in the middle of 3 and 4. went through the infield as well. And here comes that 71 of Al Brewer. Slides by into the number 2 spot, but he has got a lot of daylight between him and Nick Arnold as they head off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway.
A 10-car length lead, probably more for Nick Arnold as he will roll into 4, catching up to some off-the-pace traffic in Robert Seidel, who was the pole sitter at the start of this one.
Nick Arnold has the race lead. They head back to turns 3 and 4. Cattell, the lap down machine, as Arnold will go to the inside, make easy work of the 74K. Goes back through 3 and 4. That lead and the advantage that Arnold has over Brewer has stabilized for now. Brewer having some issues getting around Cattell off turn 4.
Brewer finally clearing Seidel as they will enter into 2. Brewer running out of time to catch Arnold. Will he have enough, as we have soon to have 3 laps to go for Nick Arnold?
Arnold leads the field back down the front straightaway as there are 3 to go. As Chris just mentioned, Brewer trying to close the gap. He cannot do so. Arnold very fast right now at the moment. He goes back through turns 3 and 4. 2 laps to go this time by. Arnold
will take the popsicle sticks with 2 to go. Brewer getting that cushion down a little bit, but not enough. Probably win this heat race as Arnold is running away from Brewer.
Nick Arnold, the race leader, down the back straightaway through 3 and 4. Here comes Al Brewer. He has closed that gap, and by a good amount, but the white flag is being displayed. Not sure if Al Brewer has enough time. He heads through 1 and 2, trying to track down the race leader and reel him back in. They head down the back straightaway for the last time.
Coming into 3. Does Brewer have enough? Does not seem so. Checkered flag waves. The 78 of Nick Arnold wins it. Brewer in second. And the 28 of Tommy Kemp in third. That'll round out your top 3.
Yeah, a chaotic start to that heat, and it ultimately led for this victory for the 78 of Nick Arnold on the front straightaway. He walked into victory lane. Give it up for the 78 of Nick Arnold. Go to that green flag. Eddie Merwick will lead the field to green. Jason Black to his outside as they head off to turn 4 down the front straightaway for the first time. The 5B of Jason Black has the race lead as they head off turn 2. Trouble farther back. A couple of cars get together. The 1 of Corey McQueen. He climbs the berm in turn number 2, gets back on the racetrack, but we still have 1 car that sits to rest. It's the 15M of Brent Morato as he comes to a in heat number 1 as they head off turn 4.
It is still Merwick and Black battling out as they enter into 1. Here comes John Boardman though, the 777. 3 cars are in a blanket as they enter in the back straightaway.
Again, much the same as the first initial drop of the green flag. It is the 5B of Jason Black who takes off with that race lead. But Chris, as you mentioned, that 777, John Boardman slides into the number 2 spot, and now on the hunt for the race lead, although it gets a little low in turn 2.
Jason Black running away from John Boardman and Eddie Merwick. Merwick working on Boardman though as they enter into 4.
Back on the front straightaway, Jason Black continuing to lead the way and now pulling away from Boardman, who rides in second. The 513 of Eddie Merwick gets drop kicked back to third, led the field to the green flag, and this one has a lot of work to do if he wants to get back to that top spot as Jason Black leads the field off turn 4.
Good distance between 1, 2, and 3 cars, especially for Jason Black, who is running away from John Boardman as they enter down the back straightaway.
Jason Black continuing to dominate this first of 3 heats here for the Pro Stocks tonight on this Pro Stock Special at Stateline Speedway. Boardman in second, then the 513 of Merwick still rides in third. The 30 now of Appleby rides in that 4th position. The 15 of Murata, who got into that lower cushion and brought out the first caution, has rebounded nicely. He rounds out the top 5, but 5 laps down, 3 laps to go.
All will advance to the main show tonight as Jason Black is running away with 3 laps to go. John Boardman needs a caution in the worst way as well as Eddie Merwick, and here comes Appleby trying to work on Merwick for that 3rd place position.
2 laps to go for Jason Black in that 5B, and he is long gone. He pulls himself up off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, he'll sling his neon pink and blue machine through turns 3 and 4. Back onto the front straightaway. White flag goes in the air.
One more time around for Jason Black. Does Merwick or Boardman have enough? I don't think so. Wins it by a landslide. Checkered flag is going to wave. Jason Black of the 5B wins it. John Boardman of the 777 in second. Eddie Merwick of the 513 in third. Shane Appleby in the 30 in fourth. And Brent Murado of the 15M in fifth.
Heats for the Pro Stocks. Off turn number 4, onto the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air. Donnie Blood, he gets a good jump, hangs really tight to the outside of Chris Withers as they go through 1 and 2. Donnie Blood takes away the race lead as they head down the back straightaway.
Here comes Joseph Steinwright working on Chris Withers for that second place position. Almost 5 cars under a blanket for that second place position. And lap 1 will go to the 45 of Donnie Blood.
Donnie Blood taking away with the race lead. Meanwhile, that battle behind him for second, third, and fourth. It is a good one. Chris Withers, he has it, but he is under attack from behind by a couple of cars, especially the 55 of Brandon Connor.
Connor will move into that third place position. Made it official at the line. It is still Donnie Blood, though, running away from the field as here comes the 55 of Brandon Connor, working on the whiz for that second place position.
Connor dials up the low line through turns 3 and 4, and by the time they hit the front straightaway, it is the 55 of Brandon Connor who's got the number 2 spot. Question now, Chris, we've talked about all night in a couple of previous heats. Does he have enough time to track down the race leader of Donnie Blood?
He might as the cross comes in the air. We're halfway done with this one. Move Dustin Gibson into that third place position of that X1 car. Takes away from Chris Withers.
Off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. I tell you what, that lead that Donnie Blood had, it was a large one a moment ago, but now the 55 of Brandon Connor closing the gap as they head off turn 4.
Here we go. Does Connor have enough as he is reeling in Donnie Blood as they enter down the back straightaway? That cushion getting smaller and smaller, Nate, as they enter into 3.
It is a great battle here for the race lead that's starting to pick up as they head off turn 4. 2 laps to go, and that race for the lead is side by side, and the advantage at the line looked like the 55 of Brandon Connor. Doesn't matter to him because as they head off turn number 2, Connor to the race lead down the back straightaway.
Connor like a wall in front of Blood, opens the door for Gibson though. Here comes Gibson trying to poke at the door. Wants in on that battle. It is still Connor with the lead though as the white flag waves one more time around.
Back through turns 1 and 2 for the final time in the second of 3 heats for the Pro Stocks. They head down the back straightaway. It is Brandon Connor who got the race lead moments ago from Donnie Blood and hasn't looked back. Off turn 4, checkered flag goes in the air. Brandon Connor's going to score the victory. Donnie Blood across the line in second. Dustin Gibson rounds out your top 3 as the checkered flag flies in the second and 3 heats of the Pro Stocks.
Another heat race where we see a pass late in the heat race to win it.
Yeah, great battles all around here so far tonight, but here he is, race fans. Give it up for the 55 of Brandon Connor, winner of heat number 2. Inside of turn 4, onto the front straightaway, green flag goes in the air, and it is Pratt who's got the race lead, but still in a side-by-side battle with Appleby. Oh, and now Pratt slips up 3 wide off turn 2.
Here comes the young gun, Andrew Hammond, as he will battle Appleby for that first place position as they enter into 3, rolling into 4. Appleby will slide up the track, opening up the door for the young gun. It is still Appleby at the line, though, after lap 1.
It is still Appleby at the line, but Hammond to his inside, to his left elbow, and now Hammond to the race lead as Pratt gets loose and spins off turn number 2. Does a full 360 on the infield, comes to a rest. We'll see if we stay green, and we won't. The yellow flag comes in the air. Bill Appleby as they work off turn 4.
Green flag is in the air. We're back underway as Hammond will have a very good restart. But we are 3 wide entering into turn 1, now rolling into turn 2.
Oh, trouble farther back. One car goes for a spin. The 99 FJR of Gary Fisher loops it around. got a little too tail happy, goes for a slide. Everybody takes enough evasive action to miss the sliding place cars, but still, anything can happen here throughout the season as the green flag goes back in the air. Hammond with the race lead, but again, 3 wide for second. Contact is made, trouble in turn 1. The 07, John Klein, goes around as the 14R of Tanner Ramsey drove it in really deep going into turn 1. Klein looped it around, yellow flag goes back.
Ramsey moving up into third on the restart. Green flag is out. Hammond with a good start as they go into turn 1.
Turn number 2, Hammond with the race lead. Appleby now in a side-by-side battle for second with Tanner Ramsey in that 14R. Ramsey will dial up the low line, go about as low as you possibly can go through 3 and 4. Appleby slides wide. Ramsey slides to the second spot, now trying to track down the race leader of Hammond.
Hammond with a 2-car length advantage over Ramsey as they are in the back straightaway coming into 3. Ramsey trying to reel in Hammond as we have 3 laps down.
Finally getting some laps put up on the board, and consecutive ones at that. That lead continues to be almost like in an accordion effect. Hammond opens it up to about 4 to 5 car lengths, and Ramsey closes the gap on corner entrance. Does it again this time, but a great drive off turn 4. Oh, trouble farther back. Couple of cars get together. One goes around. The 94B of David M. Baker Jr. gets spun off the front nose, I believe, of Justin Pratt, and the yellow flag is back in the air. In the control car as they head through 3 and 4, green flag goes back in the air, and immediately Tanner Ramsey takes a peek to the inside, gets positioned on the inside as they head through 1 and 2, and they're going to be side by side for the race lead.
Down the back straightaway, door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel as they will come into 3. Ramsey using that start to his advantage as Hammond will slide up the track, coming out of 4, opening the door for Ramsey. New race leader, it's Tanner Ramsey.
Ramsey gets great drive off corner exit, but now here's Hammond all the way to the inside. Climbs the banking on the inside of the racetrack, and that's going to hurt him. Loses some touch to the race leader as they head down the back straightaway. With 2 laps to go, Ramsey leads by about 3 car lengths.
Hammond now having to hold off Klein and Appleby for that second place position. Had to deal with them earlier in the race as well.
Into 3 and 4 they head as the race leader is the 14R of Tanner Ramsey, and he sees the white flag as it flies. The 68 of Hammond now into the number 2 spot. He is being haunted by the 07 of John Klein, who's lurking right at his tire tracks. They head down the back straightaway for the final time. Ramsey, the race leader.
Rolling through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves. Ramsey wins it. Hammond second, Klein third. Appleby in 4th. That'll round out your top 4 for the final heat race of the Pro Stocks. And like you said earlier, Nate, 1,500 to win tonight for the Pro Stocks.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. Lot on the line for the Pro Stocks here for the Pro Stocks Special. 1,500 to win, and this man right here, the points leader, 14R, Tanner Ramsey, scores the victory in the 3rd and final heat. Onto the front straightaway, green flag goes in the air.
It is Natalia Powell quickly getting that first place position from Noah Zimmerman as they are door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel as they enter in the back straightaway. Powell will pull away.
Powell takes off with the race lead. Zimmerman slides back to the number 2 spot. Farther back, good battle ongoing here from 3rd on back. A couple of cars make contact off turn 4. One car goes to the inside. Oh, couple off turn 4. One car goes up and over. The red flag comes out immediately as one car goes up and over and now sits a rest on its side.
Do not see what number that is, hoping everything is okay in that cockpit. Safety crew rushing over quickly to check on that car.
Pearson will start 3rd as they head off turn number 4. Green flag goes back in the air, and it's Pearson who jumps out to the race lead as they head back through 1 and 2.
Powell was busy taking care of Zimmerman off that restart, opening the door for Pearson as they 4 cars under a blanket. Now, the only 4 cars on the track under a blanket. Down the back straightaway for that first place lead.
Powell takes back the race lead, but she goes wide off turn number 4, and that opens up the door underneath for Zimmerman to slide by. Powell Powell throws the block on Pearson, and now down the front straightaway back through turns 1 and 2. It's Dragger who's got the number 2 spot, but Zimmerman's pulling away with the race lead.
It is Pearson getting around Powell for that 3rd place position. It is still Zimmerman up to this point after 3, but don't count out Dragger as he is knocking on the door.
Dragger drives it in really deep on corner entrance of turn 1, pulls right up alongside the 22Z of Noah Zimmerman. Wheel to wheel, side by side, they will go into turns 3 and 4, and you can move Dragger to the top spot. Zimmerman fighting back hard though off turn 4 on the inside.
Very close at the line, but it is Dragger holding off Zimmerman with 2 to go as the popsicle sticks are in the air from Spanky Hall.
Dragger has taken away that number 1 spot for Zimmerman, starting to open up that advantage. Battle farther back for 3rd. Powell gets to the inside of Pearson. Those 2 battling for 3rd as the white flag is being displayed here in the first of 4 heats for the Challengers class tonight at Stateline, and it is the 28D of Tim Dragger with the race lead.
Down the back straightaway one last time as Powell still holding off Pearson, but does not matter. Coming through 4, checkered flag waves. It is Dragger getting it done with Zimmerman in 2nd, Powell in 3rd, and Pearson in 4th. That'll round out your top 4 and the only cars on the track at the time.
Yeah, so Tim Dragger gets the job done. He went from worst to first in this one. Started in the 9th position and started in the 7th position and slowly just worked his way up to the front. Here he comes, race fans. Give it up for the 28D of Tim Dragger. Pull on to the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air.
We are rolling out of 2. Bittninger and LaBarbera battling it out as they come into 3. Working into 4. It is all LaBarbera for lap number 1.
LaBarbera takes over the top spot as they head down the front straightaway behind that 19 machine. It is the 88 now as they head off of turn number 2. Bittninger trying to get to the back bumper of LaBarbera as they head through 3 and 4. Bittninger drives up top and tries the high line.
Bittninger slides up into the marbly stuff a little bit, leaving a little bit of a cushion there for LaBarbera to make. About a 4-car length lead for LaBarbera as they enter into 2.
Tommy LaBarbera continues to hold on to that top spot. Bittninger now trying to reel him back in as they head down the back straightaway. Bittninger, Chris, he was there, had a little bit of a bobbling lap ago, but now closing the gap yet again.
Dan Bittninger coming off 2 wins this season already at Stateline Speedway, looking to make it 3. But this Challenger class is stacked with some tough competitors as he is reeling in Tommy LaBarbera down the back straightaway.
LaBarbera is got his hands full with the 88 of Bittninger as they head off to turn number 4. Now onto the front straightaway. Bittninger to the outside as they head down the front stretch. Yellow flag goes in the air. We have 1 car that has come to a stop in the middle of turns 1 and 2. It's the 828 of Jordan Richard, that is, as he has come around, went for a spin, and the yellow flag is in the air. Half a heat to go here in the 2nd of 4 heats for the Challengers class.
We are glad you are here, Nate, as Tommy LaBarbera has a pretty decent cushion between him and Dan Bittninger as they enter down the back straightaway into 3 and 4.
LaBarbera's got that race lead. Bittninger trying everything in his power to get that away as they head down the front straightaway. White flag goes in the air as Bittninger drives it in deep. Some contact maybe is made as LaBarbera goes up the racetrack side by side for the race lead down the back straightaway.
LaBarbera sliding up opens the door for Bittninger as they are door to door, wheel to wheel as they enter into 3. Bittninger does clear LaBarbera. Can he make it official at the checkered flag? Yes, he can. Heat race winner goes to Dan Bittninger, the 88. Tommy LaBarbera, the 19 in 2nd.
Great battle again here in another heat. It was a close one this time, again here in the 2nd of 4 heats for the Challengers class. Chris, we have seen some spectacular racing throughout the heats tonight.
I have lost count with how many last lap passes for these heat races we have had tonight. Oh, and the 23X is taking us to green right now.
Green flag goes in the air. Brandon Hall leads the field down the front straightaway. Car to watch there is the 53 of Peter Volpe as he heads off turn number 2, already challenging for the number 2 spot.
Here comes Pete Volpe knocking at the door of the 1 and 2 of the 52 of Dominga Echeverria in the 23X of Brandon Hall. Hall is going to slam the door on Volpe though.
And down the front straightaway, back through 1 and 2, Holden Heineman now. He is challenging for the number 2 spot as they head down the back straightaway. Brandon Hall, that 23X. Under the gun from Heineman. A good battle here, Chris, for the number 2 spot off turn 4.
Holden Heineman trying to get around Brandon Hall for that second place position, and he does make it official at the line. Moving Heineman into second place. But here comes Pete Volpe and Brandon Hall knocking at the door.
Volpe to the inside of Hall as they enter turn 3. He takes away that number 3 spot, slides a little wide off turn number 4. Heineman, though, takes off with second, but everybody is still chasing the 52 up front.
Pete Volpe very hungry for another win. Already has 2 this season. Talked to him pre-race. Just wants to get back into victory lane and park it there, is what he told me. As we are halfway done with this one. Popsicle 6 in the air for the 52 of Dominga Echeverria.
Now they head back through turns 1 and 2. Holden Heineman is on the inside of Volpe, battling for that second spot. They continue to go back and forth, and Echeverria is loving this at the front of the field as the white flag goes in the air. That 52 machine starting to pull away. Final time here in Heat 3.
Echeverria pulling away from Volpe and Heineman as they will go down the back straightaway one last time. Nate, take us home.
Yellow flag's actually going to come out in the air here as the 23X of Brandon Hall has some issues in turn number 4. That has brought out the yellow, and we will see a pretty quick sprint to the finish when we go back.
Roll through 3 and 4.
Spanky up on that flag stand, getting ready to let him fly. Green and white flag go in the air. Echeverria's got the race lead, but here comes Heineman into the inside. The 53 challenging for the race lead. They are side by side momentarily. Some contact is made. Heineman trying to get to the outside as they head down the back straightaway.
3 cars under a blanket. Does Heineman or Volpe have enough in the tank to catch Echeverria for that first place position as the checkered flag is out? Holding him off, it's Echeverria with the first place position. I did not see, it looks like on the scoreboard, Heineman got Volpe for that second and third place position. So that'll round out your top 3. What a finish for that second place position, though.
Yeah, too close to call from the eyes up here in the booth, but as you mentioned, Chris, that scoreboard out there showing Heineman in the number 2 spot. Volpe slotted in to third, but the third and final heat has concluded.
So far, the Spanky's going to call us green, and we are underway for our final heat race of the evening.
They head down the front straightaway for the first time, and it is a cluster 3 wide for second. Markham taking off with the race lead, though, and they still lean on one another down the back straightaway. 3 wide entering turn 3.
Here comes me, shoots out of a rocket from that caboose area, that last row, moving up into third place. Making it official at the line, eyes on the leaders of the 21K of Casey Markham.
Markham leads lap number 1, but to the outside is John Meese trying to get up alongside the right elbow, can't do so, and rocketing down the back straightaway. He gets to the inside as they head through 3 and 4. John Meese to the race lead.
Meese overtakes Markham and will take that second lap, but we do have a car off pace. Spanky might tell him to move into the infield. Yep, there it is. Bryant Goggle for that X10.
John Meese has taken the race lead, and he has taken off with that race lead, pulling away by a long ways as he heads off in turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Good battle ongoing here for second as Wilbur has it, and it's Markham who wants it on the inside, but now under the gun from the car on top as they head off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway.
Wilburn looking to hold off Markham and cannot get a good view of that number. But Meese will take the Popsicle 6 with 2 to go. Wilburn trying to hold off the 2-3-4 of Billy Joe Huffman. New paint scheme there for her.
Oh, contact is made there in the middle of 1 and 2. Huffman gets a little loose, slides up the racetrack, opens up the door underneath. Good battle ongoing in that area right there, but John Meese up front in that 17B, long gone at the front of the field and into 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway for the final time.
John Meese already 1 feature win so far this season, hoping to make it 2 tonight as he will roll through 3 and 4 with almost half a lap lead over Wilburn. Checkered flag waves. John Mason, the B17, gets it done in our final final heat race of the night. Wilburn in second, Billy Joe Huffman in third.
So heat races have concluded here on this Pro Stock Special night at Stateline Speedway. Here he comes, race fans. Give it up for the B17 of John Meese.
And ladies and gentlemen, please check your pockets as we have had a dead iPhone turned in